It's so generous of you. Thank you very much for your time. And what made you donate this big sum to the college where you studied or did your post graduation?
Well, there are several reasons. The first reason is that it makes me happy, and happiness is a very good feeling to have because the happier you are, the healthier you are.
Right.
So that's one. Secondly, I love to promote higher education in the country, in India. IITs are fantastic institutions, and I want to make it affordable for poor children that otherwise cannot afford it.
Right.
And I think I've become who I am to the extent I'm successful is because I studied at IIT and I got admission to Harvard Business School. And because of IIT and Harvard, I became successful. Because. But fundamentally, to start with, it's the IIT that started the whole
Right.
forward movement.
You studied in India, moved to the US, became extremely successful as an industrialist. What will be, in your view, two lessons India can learn from this kind of an experience of Indians becoming extremely successful in the US?
I think India has a legacy of socialism. I think we had to get rid of that, number one. Number two, we had to reduce the role of government in the economy. The concept of the commanding heights of the economy, according to Madam Gandhi, it does not work. Unfortunately, government institutions become slow and lethargic, and they are not efficiency oriented. It's not just India, anywhere in the world. If it's a government institution, it's not as driven as a private enterprise. And Indians are capitalists at heart. So superimposing socialism on Indians, you're trying to put something on top that the bottom is not accepting. So I think capitalism is a much more appropriate model for India. So the government should play a lesser role, lesser number of rules and regulations. Any regulation should be limited to environmental health, cleanliness of water supply, sewage treatment, connecting the rivers, providing the infrastructure for people like you and me and other people in our, for people like you to be productive.
Right.
That's the job of the government.
Now, you had your undergraduation at IIT Bombay.
Right.
Are you going to donate a larger sum to that institute?
At least the same. Yes. You're going to get me into trouble. Yes, I will.
Right. What are you leaving for your children? How do they look at this?
They are very happy with what they have. And they have quite a bit. So, like I said, it's not mutually exclusive. Beyond a certain point, it's just money. You have no idea how to spend it responsibly. You can only eat so much. You can only drink so much. If you drink too much alcohol, it's bad for you. You're going to die, right? And if you eat too much, it's the same thing. So, and then if you have these mansions, we used to live in a mansion in New Jersey, 52-acre mansion, and in Princeton, New Jersey. And then one day we looked around and said, we're just two people, husband and wife, living on 52 acres, a 15,000 square foot house, gardeners, housemaids, you name it. This is too much.
Lastly, tell me about the innovations you made. You run two companies which are ranked number one across the world.
Well, the first company was named Shiva Technologies, and that was my first venture. It became very successful, but it was a boutique. company. It was not huge. It was highly profitable. It was in a state-of-the-art mass spectroscopy, and we developed technologies, protocols, and procedures to certify materials at purity levels of 99.9999999%. First time in the world. Clean materials, ultra clean. Okay,
The state of our technology.
state of the art. And I sold it for a lot of money in 2006. Indomem, again, metal injection molding was an emerging technology. And it's easier to emerge in India than in USA. You have a lot of engineers, very bright engineers, very bright people like yourself and like herself, and all they need is encouragement, self-confidence, and tell them you can do it, and they'll do it. So that happened.
I'm going to speak to your wife, Dr. Jagadambal.
Yeah, Jagadamba.
Jagdamba. When he decided to donate 228 crore rupees to his college,
Yeah.
what kind of discussion went in the family?
We have been discussing this. I mean, we have done this before, not in this large sum, but the seed has been there for more than 20 years, right? As we became more successful, as he said and I said the same thing. We are simple people. We don't need a lot of money. We don't spend. I mean, we're not extravagant.
That's right.
And I came from a poor family, and I did my MBBS in a government college. If it was not for a free education, I wouldn't have been a doctor. So there was a lot of that. So we know where we came from, right? And what the foundation was also very good. I had a wonderful foundation with Bangalore Medical College is an excellent institution, and I got very good education. Then after I went to US, I could get further education. I got advanced degrees. I'm a children's specialist. I'm also a specialist in taking care of premature babies. So I think it was from the foundation, from free education that I got, which was an excellent education.
So it was a kind of a unanimous decision.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Is it important for successful entrepreneurs to give back big money for education?
I think it is, because being an entrepreneur, you rely on a lot of talent.
Right.
And the more you nurture talent, the more you can entrepreneur. So, I mean, it's sort of what goes around comes around. And other than that, I don't see a direct correspondence between being an entrepreneur and giving. Okay? You can be the chairman of a big company and maybe not be so rich, just maybe $100 million, and still you can donate 10 million or 20 million. So I think these are disconnected.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. That was Dr. Krishna Chivakula, who has donated 228 crore rupees to IIT Madras, where he had finished his masters, that's MTech, more than 50 years ago. We'll also speak to the director and the dean on this. Joining us now, IIT Madras Director Professor V. Kamakoti and the Dean Professor Mahesh. Thank you very much for your time. A big day for you. How do you plan to spend this particular endowment?
Okay. All the endowments that we get finally has to reach the student, and we are very, very clear about it. So this will be spent in 5 different ways. Number 1 is there is a merit cum means scholarship that we need to give. There are very good students studying well, but at the same time could not afford fees. So we are going to use, they are being called Krishna Chivakula Fellows. Then the next one is that we are getting, yesterday we just had the orientation for our international program. We have 100 students from abroad. We started off with 3, 4, 5 years before. Now it is spreading, and they're also from developing countries and they need some support, financial support. So we are going to use some amount of this endowment for the Krishna Chivukula International Fellows. The third important thing is, for the first time in the history of any IIT across the world, we have got the sports excellence admission. So we got 5 national champions, and we will be using. So this there will be a Krishna Chivukula Sportsmen Fellowship for that. We'll be encouraging that. Then the fourth thing is this high risk, high reward. So we have been granted Institute of Eminence, and we have been given 1,000 crores by the government over the last 5 years, over a period of 5 years. So we are getting 200 crores per year. So we introduced this high risk, high reward. So institute has to grow, somebody has to take risk in their research. Now a young student or a young faculty wants to take this risk, then we want to expose them to different best lab in the world, best scientists in the world. We send them that, and they are very benefited, and it is showing benefit. Now we are seeing more increased number of papers in Nature, Science, some of the top journals, and some very beautiful patents are coming out also. So we want to support. Now the Institute of Eminence funding is ending now. So next year, to continue high risk, high reward, because we have tasted it. So this endowment will be used there. The last one is, Sam, we being at a premier technology institute, it is our duty to tell all our students, all our general public also, we are publicly funded taxpayers. It's our duty to tell them what is happening in the field of science and technology. Right. Where does India stand? Where does the world stand? It's not just about IIT Madras. Now MIT, number 1 in the world, actually talks about MIT Technical Review. We are competing with them. I'm telling you, that way we are number 1. So we are now giving India's Technical Review. That's a Shastra magazine. So it was Mahesh brainchild. We started off with say four issues one per quarter. Then it made it 6 issues. Now we have now come to 12 issues because we have so much to write. And every time you see, now we want it to go to the students at a very small cost, right? Like 10 rupees per month they pay, they should get access to this. Some notional, some 120 rupees per year, including GST, right? They should pay that much. This is what we want to do. And for that, we are spending 1 crore per month for that. So it's a 12 crore. So this fund will be used. So ultimately, all these 5 will benefit the students. Right. So,
Professor, do you think at some point IITs in India would become like the US universities, where philanthropists give big corpus funds to make it possible for poor students to get free education there?
I hope so. IIT Madras has been a pathbreaker in that space. In the last 2 years, no student coming from a family with parental income less than 5 lakhs paid even a single rupee of tuition fee here. All of those roughly 1,000, 1,200 odd students were all supported by alumni or corporate social responsibility funded scholarships. And I hope we see the momentum in the direction of only being able to strengthen this program. We launched a program called Project Bright Futures, which will extend this 5 lakhs up to 8 lakhs. Mm-hmm. So we want to see every child coming in here with a parental income below 8 lakhs, not needing to pay any fee and studying without any financial stress. Right. And that's our desire, and a lot of alumni echo that desire as well.
When it comes to successful entrepreneurs settled in the US or other developed countries, they are able to generously give back to their alma mater. But do you think this culture should also get popular among successful Indian industrialists and entrepreneurs who have passed out of IIT Madras or other IITs?
So I must say, in the last 6 years, we have raised about 1,200 crores of philanthropy from corporate sources and alumni sources. The vast majority of that alumni philanthropy has come from India and our Indian entrepreneur alumni. I have to mention Mr. Chris Gopalakrishnan, there's a long list of India-based entrepreneurs who have done fantastically well for themselves and have very, very generously supported alumni, supported their alma mater. My point is, there is enough awareness among IIT alumni that there is a reason to support. But I want to use this medium to talk to every graduate of every college out there to say, you should be supporting your alma mater. That is the only way by which our country can grow. In the US, every graduate will support however small their community college is. They'll figure out a way to give back $50, $100. Let us start that culture of supporting our teachers. I call it Guru Dakshina. Guru Dakshina is not the fee you pay at the end, but the fee you pay after you begin earning when nobody is asking you for it. Please make it part of our culture. It has always been. I think we should double click on it and figure out a way to strengthen that.
Lastly, Professor, is this donation the single largest ever in India?
As per our research, right, I could say that this is a single largest donation by someone to an education institution. 228 today. But this again, Sam, this is shares, right? He has given his company shares and it is bound to increase.
Oh, it's the shares.
These shares. So it will be bound to increase. We may land up with 500, 600 crores also on this. Okay, so it's finally when we encash it, surely it will be more than 228 for sure.
That's another intelligent way of donating instead of.
It is a very common way of donating. A lot of people do that, and they also give us a way by which we encash it. So they say, no, if I go, it is some amount of shares now, and you just sell all those things, it will not be good. So they say at the end of this much you sell, and then after some, they also give us some sort of a guidelines, and we sell it accordingly.
Thank you so much, professors, for your
Thank
time.
you very much.
In Chennai with Suresh, Sam Daniel, Find It TV.